Hi guys, it's Ms. Ayers. I've been thinking a lot about the research papers you're writing this week, and I'm sure you probably have been or trying not to think about them this week as well. I thought I would throw together a quick video for tricks you could use to maybe help you with the paper or some ideas of stuff to avoid to keep you from losing points for silly things. As you can probably tell, I'm kind of a novice at this stuff, so don't expect a great quality of production, but I'm hoping to give you useful information. My first recommendation is don't make deduction so easy for me. Another way of saying this is mitigate or eliminate simple objective errors. So there are three things I want you to focus on with this. One of them is errors of spellings of character names. Secondly would be errors of citations, and third would be errors in verb tense. Obviously, you don't want to misspell the names of characters. For some of the works you've been reading this semester, some of the names are really hard to spell, like Merceau, Nowoye, etc. So double check those names, because you don't really look like an expert in this novel you've been researching if you don't know how to spell the names of the primary characters. Make sure you're citing your sources in the proper format, the correct format. I've given you a handout in class, and I've also put a printout or an electronic copy of that printout on the portal. So make sure that you consult that to be sure that your parenthetical citations are in the right format. And finally, when you write about fiction, you are supposed to write in present verb tense. So make sure you're doing that. I realize any of these mistakes really mean very little for the impact of your argument, the success of your logic, etc. But the problem with these simple mistakes is when you make them, they give an appearance of not caring. That might not even be true in your case, but once your paper looks like you don't care, the deductions get very easy for me, and they're black and white and objective. So pay attention to those three simple things: spelling of character names, citations, verb tense. They'll go a long way. Okay, here's a novel one. Make sure that your works cited page truly is a works cited page. What I mean by that is make sure it's a works cited and not a bibliography. A bibliography is what I would call like a works consulted page. It's saying, well, here's all the research I did. A works cited page means every work you have listed on that last page, that works cited page, is a work you have cited within your paper. So as I read your research paper, every time I see a source cited within your paper, I'm going to flip to your works cited page and check it off. At the end of the paper, if there are works that don't have check marks next to them, then that means that you didn't cite them in the paper. Or if there are works cited within your paper that I can't find on the works cited page, that means you have consulted a work that you haven't cited, and I can't back up your research. I can't verify your research. So if you're citing a source within your paper, it needs to be on the works cited page, and vice versa. If it's on the works cited page, it needs to be within the paper. A failure to meet those criteria gives the impression that you're trying to pad your research. You're trying to pad your sources for your research. You don't want to give that impression. So make sure that your works cited page truly is a list of the works you have cited within the paper. Lastly, guys, I'm hoping that this will be sort of a trick you can use or a reminder you can use to give you the best possible grade you can get on your paper. I want you to emphasize the significance and the uniqueness of your argument. And that can be a hard thing to do in a research paper because we often feel compelled to show that we've done our research. You know, here's what this source says. Here are some arguments other scholars have made. That stuff is important to show, but not nearly as important as what is significant and unique about your perspective. So let me give you some crutch phrasings you could use, for lack of a better term. Force yourself to say things like, this is significant because, so you're showing me what's at stake with your perspective. or after you've gone through another scholar's research, you could say something like, Dr. Samantha Smith says X, Y, and Z about Candide, and you present that research, and then you follow up with the phrasing like, what Smith fails to consider is, and that shows me how you are going beyond what your sources have said. Last simple thing is, I'm hoping will be good news. I know I said this in one class. When you write your paper, please use 1.25-inch margins instead of 1-inch margins. It'll help me make my own notations on your paper. Other than that, I wish you the best of luck. Let me know if you have any questions.